have conversations with idiots who have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, and then a nigga's over there rewriting fucking history because he's retarded. And I tend to forget, instead of me giving retarded people a fucking platform who are just blatantly fucking lying about what factually was occurring at the time, because you have someone who's literally lying. This nigga is lying. He's lying. I have to hear somebody fucking lie, and I have to sit here and respect a nigga blatantly fucking lie about who LeBron James
Low, why?
was.
Wait, low, real quick. Why the fuck were you listening to that stupid ass nigga, bro?
This
Talk
nigga
about
is fucking
basketball,
dumb.
bro.
This nigga,
Low, you
his,
don't go into those fucking. I thought I done told you. You don't go
that
into those
nigga is
fucking
so
spaces
fucking
with those
dumb, bro.
stupid ass niggas. They don't know basketball, bro.
This nigga thinks that his credibility is because he had
Nigga said he was talking. He had a convo with
he had a
David
convo.
Stern.
He's nigga probably proposed 2 questions with David Stern and about a fucking superstar, and because that's who he claimed it was, then all of a sudden it needs to be. First and foremost, when we had these conversations about basketball, people have to stop acting like human beings are omnipotent beings who can't fucking make have mental errors or say something that may be incorrect in a moment. To believe that David Stern, even if he answered the question in the way that he answered it, to believe that David Stern meant to say or meant to believe that LeBron James is not a superstar in 2007, you're fucking dumb. You to believe that David Stern, if you had asked David Stern in 2007, so LeBron James is not a superstar, you are fucking dumb, dog. It takes a level of intellect to understand to read between the lines that everything that somebody may be saying isn't word for word for fucking verbatim. You're fucking dumb. You are just fucking dumb. However, when I kept asking this dumb fuck, did they ever send LeBron overseas? Did he ever send him overseas to play in the games that are? He said, no, they never did. So I asked him specifically. So you're telling me I'm never going to see a game of LeBron overseas. I then brought up the Olympics. He said, no, that don't represent the NBA. That's representing that doesn't represent the NBA. That represents the USA. Then Omo brought up the young mustard brought up a fucking game where he got sent over there to go play a game. Then he literally said, oh, wait, did that game actually happen? So all of it was about games then. It was all about games. It was about this nigga playing games. Then I actually brought up a game where this nigga played overseas in 2007. Now all of a sudden, it's not about games. It's not about games. But if you genuinely believe that they just sent LeBron over there to play a game, and then he got sent packing back up, then you're fucking dumb.
No, but low. I'm just confused because like, where did the convo start? Like, was he saying he wasn't
The
a
niggas,
superstar
they're
because
trying
of
to for
marketing,
and
or
what's
like he
crazy
wasn't
is
a superstar because of
no,
ability?
they're saying okay. There's another thing. People having this
Because
on
I joined the space like
no,
while you were mid convo, so I didn't know.
it's an ongoing conversation about fucking superstars. The nigga is rambling on miscellaneously, I might add, about what it takes to be a superstar. Every time we had these conversations about what makes a superstar, there's no consistency with anybody's arguments. And it's fine if we have a difference of like one or two players, but everybody just like sporadically says names and they don't really think about what the fuck they're saying. They just talk. This nigga's argument was that the reason why certain players can't be superstars isn't because the NBA is trying to market them. I then said, the response from that and everyone else is that it doesn't really matter about if the NBA is trying to market them or not. It's just about how they perform and how, like, just them from a performance level, not
Yeah,
necessarily
it's a performance.
marketability.
It's a performance
Be-
thing. How good
but
are
it
you? Yeah.
because by that logic, to assume that maybe Tim Duncan wasn't a superstar because he wasn't a marketable player is fucking dumb. But even if you want to go off of that, his argument was that you had to not only be marketable, but you have to have won an MVP and a championship. So then the obvious response to that was, okay, so before 2012, LeBron wasn't a superstar. He says no. I know he's fucking dumb because every single time somebody brings up an "I got you" moment, this nigga then adjusts his criteria. Oh no! But they didn't send him overseas. What the? You never said anything about playing overseas until now. Fine. I then asked him, hey, so you're telling me I'm never going to find a moment where LeBron was overseas playing basketball? Oh no, you tell me, you show me that. You tell me that. Okay, fine. I brought up him playing basketball overseas in '04 with the Olympics. No, 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 no. That represents the USA, not the NBA. Oh, Young Mustard then brought up, well, here's the NBA. Here's David Stern, a quote from David Stern, picking out players to go play overseas during the lockup. No, well, did those games actually happen? Huh? Did those games actually occur? Then I brought up a preseason game where they actually played basketball overseas. Now all of a sudden it's, oh no, 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 I'm not talking about games. Games don't matter. It's individually. So again, when niggas change their criteria, they make the adjustment what they're saying. They're fucking dumb. They're idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. That nigga is talking out his ass. I have a hard time believing that this nigga got a concrete understanding of what David Stern believes to be a superstar because he was in the room with a bunch of other niggas. And he asked one or two questions. To believe that you think that David Stern did not believe that LeBron was a superstar the fucking day that that nigga stepped in is ridiculous. But you know what? I'll go out of my way to find this nigga David Stern calling this nigga a superstar before he won a championship just to prove this nigga wrong. But to sit there and to say the things that he was saying is fucking idiotic, and to hear people rewrite history is fucking dumb. That nigga is dumb. He don't know what the
You
fuck he's
just not
talking
figured this
about.
out, bro. Why do you join people? Like, we already know what side of Twitter those niggas
Nigga
are
is
on, bro.
dumb. I hate that side of
Nigga,
Twitter. I
but
hate
no,
when
but
niggas
nigga,
just talk.
anybody in this fucking space could fucking tell you don't go and have a conversation with those niggas. Like, if you trying to actually talk basketball, bro. I joined in, bro, and I was hearing you, Mustard, and what was the other niggas? Shadow. I was hearing you niggas, bro. I wanted to fucking kill myself, bro. My headache. I was having a fucking headache. Listening to you niggas scream over nothing. Listen to that nigga like talk about like what's a superstar and what isn't. He never let you finish a question. He kept like answering questions with his own
Yeah, he's
questions,
answering
and then kept
questions with
getting mad at
questions, and
you
it's like,
not
bro,
answering his
what are we
counter
doing, bro?
question.
Are you fucking dumb? Like I don't get like
Like,
what's wrong with you, bro?
this shit was actually fucking idiotic. And you niggas just like, and niggas in there just kept letting him talk, kept saying, "Oh, bro, it's his opinion, bro. It's his opinion, bro. Oh, just let him say what he wants to say." I hate it when we do this thing on this fucking app where we just let niggas get away with dumb opinions because it's a quote unquote opinion. No, bro, you can be objectively fucking wrong about the game, bro, while it being your opinion. It's just a fucking fact. I don't know why we come out here and let niggas say stupid ass shit like, "Oh, LeBron wasn't a superstar before 2012, bro." What the fuck does that even mean? Because he didn't win a fucking championship? You actually have to be fucking idiotic. That is the most egregious take I've ever heard in my fucking life. Saying that nigga wasn't a superstar because he didn't win a championship or because he wasn't marketed properly. He wasn't marketed like a fucking superstar. Bro, is Kawhi a fucking superstar?
He's
If he's
to
not
his
quote
argument,
unquote,
no.
yeah, like no, like what are we doing here? You sound so dumb. And then wasn't he also then saying that AI wasn't a superstar? Wasn't he also saying that?
Well, Keith kept trying to butt in and say that he
Well, no, I
was a
know Keith was,
superstar.
but didn't he also say that he wasn't a superstar?
Yeah, he was saying he wasn't a
Yeah,
superstar.
but
He was
so it's hypocritical. Like you're naming the god of marketing and culture changing and all that shit, saying he's not a superstar. Then you get a nigga who's the best player in the fucking league and saying he's also not a superstar. So what are we doing here?
he was saying that he wasn't a superstar because David Stern was actively pushing against him being a superstar.
By
Like he was.
giving him like prime time games and like constantly
So
hyping this nigga up to be
I
the
said
next
that as
Michael
well. I said
Jordan.
that as well. I said. So you're telling me when they were giving LeBron and when they were giving the Cavaliers primetime national televised games, and they were giving the Cavs Christmas games, you're telling me that would not be a standard for a superstar? This nigga's response was, "Well, that's not marketing dollars." And Manu Ginobili he was playing during Christmas. Like you're fucking retarded,
Yeah,
dog.
bro. No. Niggas were there to go fucking watch Tim Duncan and the Spurs, bro. Like, what are we doing here?
And
Manu was a good old
if
ad
I'm
on.
not mistaken, LeBron was such a superstar, and they were pushing LeBron so much so that they actually had Cleveland receiving more Christmas and national televised games than a Spurs dynasty that was winning way more and had more possibility of making deeper postseason runs than the fucking Cavaliers.
So did you just come out here to like rant to all your fans?
This no,
Cause
because I'm telling, I have to stop going into random people's spaces, bro. Because like I just can't giving people like that a platform is like it's just ridiculous. Like I can't. I gotta stop. I gotta stop doing it because it makes no sense that somebody can go out their way and lie like that. Like that is just like the audacity of somebody lying to that degree
and
is
just
crazy.
talking his ass off too, man. A different level of talking, just yelling and talking, not listening to what anybody's saying, changing up his criteria. Then you got dick eaters in the fucking chat. Oh, let him finish, bro. Let him finish, bro. Let him get his point off, bro. Fuck up out of here, bro. That nigga's dumb. Stop letting that nigga talk.
That
Fuck
nigga's
niggas just let idiots like that come on this app and talk, bro. And then you got niggas like Low who got to come on make a counter space. This shit happens weekly, bro. A dumbass nigga will come on a space, say something stupid, then some other nigga who has a bigger flat platform will come on and respond to it, bro. It's a dumb cycle. It's like the cycle of hatred in Naruto, man. Like this shit gotta stop, and I'll be the one to end it. I'll be the one to fucking end it, nigga.
the nigga is just I just don't understand. I don't get the audacity of somebody saying that LeBron was not a superstar, and then for him to change his criteria of his argument every single time somebody comes with a quality rebuttal. It's just frustrating having conversations with people like that because they just can't admit that they were fucking wrong. But for the NBA to send over LeBron to Shanghai back in 2007. Back in 2007, they were sending LeBron over to Shanghai. Back in 2007. Not only that,
Anyways, but
there was
let's talk about how dumb you are for thinking Iverson wasn't a superstar in his prime. Let's have that conversation.
I only think Iverson. If Iverson was a superstar, it was probably for like 2 or 3 years. I don't think it was like any extensive amount of period. I just
What?
don't.
What are you
No,
talking about, bro?
I don't. Well, personally, my criteria of a superstar doesn't really have to do much with your marketability.
No, I don't. No, I don't care about marketability,
Oh,
nigga.
okay, I
What
was
the
about to
fuck
say.
do I look? What the fuck do I look like to you?
Oh, okay, all
Bottom
right.
stop.
I'm
Like
about to say we bring up
I'm asking
marketability.
you.
I can't. I'm
I'm
not gonna be
asking
able
you.
to.
What is your superstar criteria, nigga?
No, he's just somebody who can consistently play at a all-star level. I mean, not an all-star, MVP level for extended period of time while also having also making deep postseason runs, having the ability to make deep postseason runs.
So you don't think Iverson was a superstar because he like played with like bums offensively?
Well, he wasn't even making the playoffs though. There were stretches where he didn't even make the playoffs.
I understand that. I definitely understand. I'm not saying like I'm not like some Iverson dick rider, but we're not gonna sit up here and act like Iverson like wasn't a superstar. Like he was like his 3 year peak is a superstar peak. He ain't got a
Yeah,
troll.
if you want to say I had no problem with 3 year, but like, bro, after like 01, I think he made the playoffs like 3 more times and went with Philly, and it's like I can't. Like, it's one thing if you making the playoffs and I might be able to make an exception because you're not making deep postseason runs. But like, man, nigga, like Harden was making the playoffs and making deep postseason runs
What the
with
fuck?
bums.
Why do you say Harden like that's supposed to be some
No,
sort of
what I'm
insult,
saying is
nigga?
like this to act like just because you're playing with bums, that doesn't. I don't think that's acceptable reason for you not to make the playoffs. Essentially.
Yeah, but Harden's better than that nigga. That's not.
Oh
I
man.
don't think that's a. I don't think that's a. I don't think that's like something like that should be shunned upon because a
No,
nigga
no, no,
who's
no.
better than him is
I
better
agree that
capable
he
of
better.
doing it.
I agree that he better, but I'm just saying like that's kind of the reason why. Like back in the early 2000s, bro, the bar for making the playoffs was still a losing team. Like in '04, the Celtics made the playoffs with like a losing record, and so did the Knicks. Like it was 2 teams with losing records making the playoffs,
Yeah, I know.
and the Sixers
East was
didn't. So
ass.
it's hard. It's hard for me to say that somebody
But
who
can you
can't
name
cross
three
that
niggas
bar.
on that 04 team?
I want to say that was at the time where Kyle Korver and C. Webb was on the team, no?
Like rookie Kyle Korver, is this what we doing?
Okay, then it was what? It was still C. Webb and Aaron McKee and
I mean, C Webb was like he was cool, but like we not gonna act like that's like something you like. That's like I actually can't think of a good comp, but like I don't like I'm not naming C Webb as some extremely notable name as to why like he should have made the playoffs with this guy. I get what you're saying, but like I don't think it's like completely fair to AI to say that.
But even then, if I'm not mistaken, like '06, he had C Webb and Corver wasn't a rookie anymore. He had C Webb,
Yeah,
Corver,
Corver was a little
Iguodala,
better.
Bear, and still didn't make the playoffs.
I mean, this wasn't that. I mean, that was like before Iggy like really became like an actual like high level role player, all star type of guy. Who else did you say? C Webb.
I guess, yeah. He had
Like
C
I'm
Webb
not gonna sit here and act like
because
he
C
could.
Webb at that time was still in two. I'm looking at it right now. In 2006, C Webb was a 20 and 10 guy. He had a 20-10 guy on his team in 2006 and still didn't make the playoffs, bro. You know how difficult that is?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult.
Like it ain't like I'm not look, and again, I'm willing to make exceptions for some players, understandably so. And then the
Yeah.
next year
Also,
when
why are Luka and Jokic not superstars?
I put him in there.
Or were you just saying you're projecting them as like
Yeah,
superstars?
I was projecting him to be able to make deep postseason runs.
Oh, well, why isn't Jokic already a superstar?
For me, he is. No, he asked me if I had to
Oh,
take out two, and I said that
oh,
the two if I had to take out will be Luca
but
and
Jokic
Jokic.
is better than LeBron. Why is LeBron a superstar and Jokic isn't?
His argument was about his argument was like it's really a lot of things I was saying was rebuttaling his argument. So
Oh, okay,
his
okay.
argument was he sat there and said something about well we have to say
Yo,
more about
wait,
Luca and
low,
LeBron.
real quick. This ugly ass nigga swiper camp keeps fucking DMing me talking about yo, let me up, bro. Stop talking to each other, bro. He said, "What is this?" He said, "He's calling us first take, dog. I can't let this shit
Oh wait,
slide,
so
bro." He's calling us first take.
oh wait, so but
That's crazy. Nigga thinks he about to JJ Redick us, bro.
a lot of
Fuck up out of here,
a lot
bro.
of the things that I was a lot of things I was saying was still in response to him. So when he
First
brought up
take, bro.
when he brought up wait, let me say it real quick. When he brought up like Jokic and Luka not being able to lead their teams in deep postseason runs, I was like, by that logic, then fucking LeBron hasn't done it in 3 years, and neither has Durant. So what are we saying? Doesn't make any sense.
You're right. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make like we all are giving these players the benefit of the doubt in terms of some form of projection moving forward. We would have to because we can't go off what we've recently seen. Because look, KD and fucking LeBron have not made the conference finals in 3 years now, or 2 years.
Well, then call it what it is. Call it what it is, Lo. Say it.
I already called it what it is. He's stupid.
Well, Steph Curry wouldn't be a superstar by that metric then either before this.
I
year.
agree. Like his arguments didn't make any sense. That's why he's dumb. The nigga's dumb. He's dumb, bro.
Well, I think all this today started off Steph Curry versus LeBron, and then it has turned into and morphed into the superstar conversation. But today originally started people trying to tell us and everyone else why Steph Curry. It has not just where LeBron is now, but the hypothetical of if he wins another two championships, he's going to clear LeBron in the all-time status.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I came in here partially because I know Dre been saying some dumb shit on the timeline, talking about how Curry's over LeBron. So I wanted to see what he was saying, but then Shadow just came out of nowhere with these fucking idiotic takes about somebody being a superstar and then not being a superstar. So partially, what you're saying is right, but I personally believe to say that LeBron wasn't a superstar in '07 actually might be a more
Yeah,
egregious take. The nigga's just straight fucking.
it's the
He's
worst take I've ever
dumb,
heard,
dog.
bro. Yeah,
He's fucking
I
dumb.
know. Just like saying Jokic is the best player in the NBA. That's right up there, man.
All right, y'all niggas,
See how to be targeted?
niggas
See how to be
it's
targeted?
right up
I ain't
there
did
with
nothing.
that.
I ain't did nothing. I didn't even did nothing, Lo. You see how you be
I
doing
know,
that?
niggas
Get a real avatar, bro. How about that?
Oh yeah,
Get a real
That nigga
avatar.
is dumb, bro.
You thought that was funny, nigga?
Ultimate playoff dropper Goku.
Yeah,
Anyway,
bro. You got it, man. You got it.
But I think the thing is like with superstars though, like I think there's qualifications. Like if you want to say MVP players have to be superstar, like you have to be a superstar to be MVP or win titles, whatever else it is. But I think like saying LeBron James or Michael Jordan weren't superstars prior to like them actually winning the award. Like I said, I just don't think that's a bad faith argument. Like LeBron James walked into the NBA, he was basically a superstar, and from that point on until 2004, 2005. What year was that Detroit series? Was that 2006?
Literally after the Detroit series, the summer heading into the Detroit series is when they start sending him overseas. When he was playing, he not only played a preseason game overseas the next year, but also they were sending him overseas to make appearances. So like, I don't like he's sitting here saying this, and also he's making it sound as if like they just do that frequently. Back in the early 2000s, they were not randomly sending players overseas just for the sake of just sending them overseas. That was not a common thing to do. Even for a preseason game, that was not common back in the early 2000s. So holding the
Sorry,
standard
I
in
don't mean to
today's
interrupt you again,
league
Legend of
for
Winning.
what they were doing in '03 or '04 or 2007 is straight
Great point.
fucking dumb.
Cook, bro. Keep cooking.
The nigga is dumb.
Keep cooking, bro. Anyways, I've been told by a certain man to please let the young ketchup up, if you could. Please let young ketchup up. Thank you. Omo ketchup, however you want to call him, same thing. That's what I've been told.
Bro, I can't, bro. The nigga is dumb, bro. That nigga's fucking not mustard. The other
Oh,
nigga.
Mo Mustard is dumb. I mean, I agree, but I mean that's not who we talking about
No,
right
the other nigga is dumb, bro. Nigga sat there and said LeBron wasn't a superstar
Yes,
in
he's very
'07.
dumb, bro.
Fucking
He's very
straight
dumb, bro.
now.
dumb,
Oh,
nigga.
here comes this nigga. Here
When I tell
he
you
goes,
that was
That
a
bro.
nigga's
stupid guy,
dumb,
that guy was
bro.
stupid, bro.
That nigga's dumb,
And it's
bro.
crazy because when I called him dumb, now dudes DMing me saying I should send my address so he could pull up on me because I said he was dumb. I don't care, man. He was stupid, bro.
Nigga,
What you pussy?
I'll
You
fly that
scared?
nigga out and say it to his face. He's dumb, dog. That nigga's dumb. He can fly out on my
Hey, but
dollar and I'll
Lo,
say it
he
in his
talked to
face.
David Stern though.
The
Oh
nigga's
He
wow.
talked to
dumb.
David Stern though, Lo.
Oh
I
wow.
don't give a fuck if that nigga talked to his mom. I don't care. That nigga could have been fucking David Stern. I don't care.
I mean, I talked to Chris Paul yesterday, so shit, I must be solidified.
That nigga could have been sucking his dick. He still would not have a gut comprehension of David Stern's belief of what a superstar is.
I just don't even get why David Stern's opinion matter. He hasn't even been the commissioner in how has it been 10 years already?
But when he was the commissioner, that nigga made LeBron have more national televised games than championship caliber teams because he thought LeBron was a superstar. The nigga sent him overseas because he thought he was
Wait
a
a minute.
superstar.
Wait, in his rookie year, y'all remember who he played against on Christmas in his
It
rookie
was
year?
T Mac, if I'm not
Please
mistaken,
let
right?
them
It
know.
was T-Mac, right?
And that game was one of the most televised Christmas Day games of all
Yeah.
time at that
Please
point.
let them know.
Wasn't
Swipe.
And he went
Swipe if
went
I'm not
off.
wrong. Swipe if I'm not wrong. Wasn't LeBron debut like the most
Yeah, in
viewed
Sacramento.
preseason game ever?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, even bro,
Yeah.
forget the regular season. Even in the summer league when he played, it was packed.
Mhm.
Remember that game?
Well, not even that. But if LeBron wasn't a superstar, I can tell you for a fact. I can tell you for a fact that Carmelo Anthony was a superstar early in his career when he was with the Nuggets. People say he was the top five. No.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know
being for
about
real.
that. I don't know
I'm
about
saying
Melo.
no. Listen. No,
Okay.
I think remember you got to remember when him and Kobe went against each other in 2009.
Oh, okay.
What people were. You know what I mean? Like when him and Kobe were going against each other, like in the series, what people were saying about Melo. Now they weren't right. Like Melo was, he was that guy, but he wasn't one of them guys like Kobe and Bron. But if Melo was considered a superstar by that point in time, LeBron dang sure was, because LeBron had already been to a finals and already won an MVP.
If I am not mistaken, I could be wrong. Not only did LeBron have a Christmas game in his rookie season, like as a fucking rookie, they gave that nigga a Christmas game. But I think after '07 onwards, LeBron had a Christmas game for the remainder of his career.
Yeah, for the every year of his career, yeah.
So like to sit
Every
here
year.
and to say that like somebody wouldn't be marketing LeBron or they wouldn't be pushing LeBron by giving him some of the most viewed televised regular season games on a year to year basis, to say that someone not going out of their way to do that is the most that's dumb. That's
Well,
just dumb.
the two best players on that '08 team that y'all talked about in the Olympics were Kobe and Bron. So, and everybody knew that. That was even the understanding.
But he said that the Olympics
that's
don't
how,
count.
but
The
it's not
Olympics
just,
don't
it's
count
not just the
because
players.
that's a representation of the USA, not the NBA. That's
But it wasn't just the players who were saying that, right? Even when you go like actively rewatch those Olympics games, like they're talking about Bron and Kobe as the clear two best players. So like
I think the only other guy they talked about like that was like D Wade.
Yeah, D Wade. Like they definitely treated LeBron as like a clear top 3 player in the NBA, with a superstar and an all time, developing talent, right? So
and
like
even that.
that is some insane revisionist history. Like trying to say that LeBron was not a superstar because of like I saw David Stern and he said hello to me. Like what are we talking about, man?
Then on top of that, bro,
You gonna say
like,
it, nigga?
it blows my mind.
Come on, man.
Like how he can say LeBron was not a superstar, but like that link Lowe sent of them going to China when they played the Magic. Did they just send them there because of Dwight Howard? Like, is
that's
that
what I'm
why?
saying. Like, why would they send him over there then? What's this?
Like, doesn't make no sense.
Bron is definitely like that whole that didn't make sense, bro. Especially
who made the argument? Because I wasn't in that space.
Shadow made the argument.
Oh, well, I'm not.
That Shadow idiot.
Yeah, Wes,
Okay.
we gonna chill.
Bro, there's niggas on this app that you need to learn to avoid, bro.
We good.
You'll learn it one
The
day.
argument
I've never, but you know, to be fair,
one of them, by the way.
LeBron, the argument he made earlier, one of his main sticking points was LeBron and Maverick and Rich Paul were saying that LeBron was the greatest of all time in 2014. So therefore, they can call Steph better than Bron because it's just, speaking it into existence. It's the dumbest shit in the world.
I mean, but those are LeBron's best friends, bro. Who cares?
Yeah, that's different. But like the whole
I ain't
superstar,
gonna. I'm gonna have to block
Best
that
friends,
nigga,
those are
dog.
niggas who literally get paid to dick suck LeBron,
nah.
bro. Like,
But
what are
the
we talking
superstar
about?
thing,
Shit,
the
if you pay me
superstar
enough, I'll
thing,
say LeBron to go. Shit.
I agree with the superstar thing
I mean, you
right
don't need to
now.
pay me to say that, but let me stay silent.
What?
Yo, that's funny.
All
Yo,
right, bro.
I'm so serious when I say if that's what he's saying, then fuck it, bro. I might just need to block him because he sounds fucking dumb. He just sounds like an idiot. But again, the logic behind a nigga sitting here saying that LeBron wasn't a superstar is fucking dumb. And every single time we challenge this nigga's criteria, he kept fucking moving the goalposts. That's the problem. That idiots will sit here and be proven wrong, and then as soon as they get proven wrong, now all of a sudden, oh well, nah, bro, like nah, he's not a superstar. Like, what are you saying, bro? I've given you every single thing you said that didn't happen. I'm now showing you evidence that it did happen, and now you keep moving the goalposts once more. But even when you move it, I'm still providing evidence. And he just want to sit here and ask me questions with another fucking question, bro. He's a fucking idiot, bro.
Well,
Fucking idiot.
I think that there just has to be better criteria for what a superstar is. I happen to like mine. I don't know what y'all think about it. Like,
Nah,
I might not
I
agree with
don't,
it, whatever.
I
Well,
don't.
Ash, you a bum, so
He's
don't
not.
talk about you, bro.
I am, nigga.
To be fair, I don't really even care. I don't really care if people have different opinions about what a superstar is. That's fine. I just want people to be consistent. Don't tell me that what makes a superstar are these things. And I ask you because at first he just said you got to be an MVP, a Finals MVP, and you got to be marketable to the NBA. So he said LeBron wasn't before 2012. No. I mean, yeah, he wasn't because because they didn't send him overseas. Like he just started making things up. That was the problem. If you have your criteria, fine. But if we didn't highlight somebody that goes against that criteria that clearly was a superstar before he won a championship or before he got an MVP, because again, by that logic, then Kobe wasn't a fucking superstar until
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
Like is that what we're saying?
Not even
That doesn't
2008,
make any sense.
2009, actually.
Or going into the 2008-09 season. Like is that what we're saying? That doesn't make any sense.
Yo,
So
So
like
co-host, nigga.
no. So none of
anyway,
that makes any sense to me, bro.
what?
And that was the problem is
You a
that you
bitch.
had somebody who's a fucking idiot saying things. And the other part I have is when people use like somebody else's word as like their litmus test, especially when somebody is dead. That's weird to me. Like I don't need to know what David Stern said because we can't even verify what he's saying. But again, like these are still people. To sit here and believe that David Stern might have said something like to sit here and say that David Stern said something and may not understood that his statement might not have been wide enough of a statement that covered all of his bases, like a normal human being might say something like that, is ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous. He easily could have made a mistake on what he was saying if the statement that he made didn't cover the bases of LeBron James.
And also,
Plus,
he runs the league. He's probably looking at things just financially, if I'm being honest, bro.
plus, I highly doubt he was talking to that dumbass nigga and telling him LeBron wasn't a superstar.
That's another thing. I don't
Respectfully.
think he said that.
I highly doubt he went up to that nigga. They had a long enough conversation to get to the point of LeBron not being a superstar. That sounds highly improbable for that bitch ass nigga. But let me keep my mouth shut, man.
That's another thing. I highly doubt he had a conversation with David Stern and they were really breaking down the crooks and crevices of what it meant to be a superstar and not a superstar. Like, what are we saying, bro? The amount of times LeBron has been overseas is it's countless. Like, what are we talking about?
He's just been promoted to like a level where you haven't really seen some shit like that. Like probably like Jordan if you like relative to era, but like LeBron, like just as a whole, he's been marketed to such a high pedigree. Like I don't know, like it's
It's literally just
ridiculous.
LeBron. It's literally LeBron, Kobe, and fucking
Like it
Jordan.
don't matter what team Braun is playing on. It don't matter who he's playing against. They'll put on random games versus like the Pistons, like the shitty Pistons or whatever team you want to say, right? And it'll be nationally televised, bro.
You
It's
know the
been like that
Lakers,
his whole career.
the even on the Cavs when he went to the Cavs, he was that's the NBA had a problem with this like as of late when he went to LA because what they used to do on TNT like Thursday nights or doubleheaders on ESPN, it'd be LeBron versus any other team in the Western Conference in the 9:30 slot. So now they had issues with the seven o'clock spot, like the 6 p.m. slot, trying to find someone to put in that during that time period because LeBron was easily an easy guy. Whatever whoever LeBron what team he was on, they could just put him in on that slot and have a game and still get quality views. So
Yeah,
I mean,
he took away viewership from like the Eastern Conference. Like
I
that's
mean,
an issue that they
Charlotte
were having with.
Bobcats used to get national televised games because of LeBron.
I'm saying like random
literally.
teams, you'd see random
That's
teams
so
who you
crazy.
never want to fucking
Fucking
watch because LeBron
Cavs
playing
at
them.
bro, Cavs at Orlando. Like, bro, I ain't trying to watch that shit. Oh, LeBron is playing. I mean, I guess. Fuck it. I mean, he's playing, so I watch it. I guess. That's what it would be like.
So wait, how do you define a
That's not the
superstar?
worst thing he
Me?
said today. Though,
How do I
I
find a
think you
That's
superstar?
have
not
to
the
be.
worst thing he
If
said
that's
today.
not the worst thing you said today, that's
I
crazy.
think you have to
If
be
that's
better
not,
than
that's
Nikola
crazy.
Jokic to
Wait,
be a
no, for me,
superstar. So I have like
no,
five.
that too. You can't be on
Ash, get a job.
you can't
Yeah,
be,
but you get a life.
you can't be on the Nuggets, and you can't be on the Nuggets. Period. But I think that a superstar is somebody who is an MVP type, top 5 type player. Um, Great postseason success, has the accolades, MVP or a championship. Like there's a whole bunch of shit that goes into it. Like for instance, like I think there's 8 niggas. I think it's Embiid, Kawhi, LOL.
Oh, you shouldn't have
Oh
said that
wow.
first
Yeah,
name.
I know,
Let's hype it here.
Chill,
Yeah, niggas say
No,
Embiid
wait, whoa,
first.
whoa. I'm not even an Embiid header. If
No,
six
you're
niggas,
not. I know. They just force it.
I just don't like
Embiid,
Ash.
facts.
Yeah, bro, you
Eh,
got it. You got it.
Nah, like this, like we did this. I think we did this yesterday in the
Ash
space.
is
Like,
your gawkiest of Twitter spaces.
Why
Anyway,
you just be
go
coming
ahead,
out
G.
here
nah, it's
lying
eight.
like
No,
this,
no,
bro?
it's literally 8 niggas in the league that I think are in superstar.
So Luka
League.
and Embiid plus my top 6 is what you're
Yes,
saying.
exactly. Literally, Luke,
What?
Kawhi and Embiid in your top 6. Yeah.
Well, what do you think Embiid's done to qualify for a superstar?
I
What do you
think he's
think
been.
Jokic has done to qualify being a
Wait,
superstar?
this ain't
I
Embiid
want
versus
to
Jokic.
tell.
This
I
ain't
want to
Embiid
say
versus
his
Jokic.
worst take of the day, bro. To me.
What is his worst take? Because I need to know what else is
So we were having this discussion about Curry and Bron, and I was pushing back because they told me Curry was better than Bron. And then they start bringing up the Warriors, like those teams, and LeBron losing in the finals to those teams. And we got to a point where they were talking about the 16, 17
Oh,
Warriors and the 17, 18 Warriors. And I don't remember exactly what happened prior to me making this statement that I'm about to make. But I said, well, Curry has never faced a team the same like the caliber of
the
the
KD
16,
Warriors.
17 Warriors or the 17, 18 Warriors. You know, this nigga retorted and said, the Boston Celtics. I asked who was on that level. This nigga said the Boston Celtics
No
this
way.
year were
No
on
way.
that level.
Wait,
No way.
Wes,
Yes,
Wes,
and
No
Wes,
way.
but
Wes,
No.
use
no,
defense
those
to back
niggas
Wait,
that
who said
argument.
actually
this? Who
said,
said this? Who
Wes,
said this?
those
Shadow,
niggas
the same
actually said
nigga.
that those Boston
Shadow.
Celtics were the best team they ever
Oh my
played, bro.
god. Let me guess.
They
David
were
Stern
actually
probably
saying
told
that
that
shit.
shit too, bro.
This
Oh my
nigga
god,
said
that's so
this year's
cool.
Boston Celtics are on par.
Yes, and
That's just dumb.
use defense to try to stand on it.
Oh my god.
I,
They said that the Celtics were the hardest team the Warriors played in their dynasty era. So
You know what's crazy? I was
that's
also in
I.
space and they and
No, that's still not
some
true.
Curry fans told me that Curry's better than Kobe because when Kobe faced the all-time defense like the Pistons and the Celtics in '08, he crumbled. Meanwhile, Curry had one of his most efficient like series ever against who was it? The
I
Celtics.
just love that we act like they haven't had multiple 40-point games put on them by Jimmy Butler and Giannis prior to this
I'm
series.
saying,
I'm
bro.
saying, man, like, what are we doing here?
And on top of that, as much as I love Curry, like they dropped in like the first 3 games.
They
Against him,
did. They
bro.
dropped heavily. They were dropping like
Like
straight
crazy.
crazy.
It wasn't until like game 4 and 5 that they really started like, okay,
Like,
maybe
this
we can
nigga Curry
switch a
can
little
actually
more.
shoot. Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Like all
The
the
fuck?
Celtics did, bro, was lock up that stig little loser in Brooklyn, bro. That's all they did, bro. That loser, you know, that's all they did, man. They didn't lock up
And it's
Jimmy.
crazy to me
They didn't
because like
lock up Giannis.
their
They didn't
offense
do any of that.
their offense even negated how good their defense was because they turned it over like crazy every fucking game. So like
Also, the reason why they lost had nothing to do with their defense. Was they were shit on offense. That's the
shit
reason why the
offense,
Celtics.
bro. Shit on offense.
And also, Boston's whole philosophy this year has kind of been like to take away what your team does and like kind of just let you cook. They've literally been doing that the entire season. They were doing. That's why they did drop against Steph. That's why they singled out Jimmy in isolation, and it's why they kind of just let Giannis free roam out there and let him just try to barrel his way to the basket. Like they weren't trying to actively take away your best player out of a series or a game. They were trying to make everybody suck besides you. So like this to bring up defense, be like, oh, well,
Boy.
Steph played the #1 defense, bro. Like you sound fucking stupid.
But
You
Ash,
got you
be
got
careful.
Kobe seeing all-time defenders, bro, left and right, getting
Be
a
careful.
wall.
Be
Niggas
careful,
trapping. We
man.
talk about, oh, bro, Steph had a better series than Kobe has ever done versus an all-time defense.
Wait, be careful about what?
Hey, Dre said he gets on burners and comes into spaces.
Dre is my
Thinking
son.
y'all bad.
Dre is
If the
my son.
niggas in a
Dre-
burner in
Dre
here,
is
I'll
my
say it right now.
son.
Dre is a dumbass.
Dre
yo,
is my
if you're in a
son.
burner and you said that, you're dumb, dog. You're fucking dumb.
Jesus.
You're
I have no beef.
dumb.
I have no beef with nobody.
Dre,
Peace
get
to
off the
Allah.
space and come
All y'all
on
be
here, bro. You're my son.
all of y'all.
I mean,
I
I'll
have no
say it
beef with
myself.
nobody.
Dre is
I ain't
a
gonna
stupid
cap.
ass nigga. I'll say it
I
right
have no beef with nobody.
Nigga has not told me Happy Father's Day. Him and Swiper, man. Shit is
Okay,
nasty.
all right.
So
crazy.
so I think
Ash
my
talks
my
shit,
my
the
issue
Goku profile pic be having
my issue with that whole thing was though, and I said this to his face, you know what I mean. I this is what it's not. People don't have an issue with Steph Curry the player. It's just the way his community of supporters behave and how they talk online. And so the LeBron conversation, the Tim Duncan tweet from I believe it was Park that came out a couple of days ago, like just talking about how he would have cooked Tim Duncan in his face, like he cooked Joker in space, which was again, I just don't understand the comparable there. Like, you know, Duncan is obviously a much better defender than anything Joker could ever dream of being.
You know
Like,
what it reminds me of,
so,
Swiper?
go ahead.
It reminds me, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to break into this convo, but it reminds me of like Kobe fans. Like in the moment, people like, I'm not trying to be mean, but they did overrate Kobe. Like people would be like, oh, he's second all time because he's the closest to MJ. You know, they'll say some shit like, oh, he's better than LeBron because of his rings. Which I'm telling you right now, don't let Curry get 5 rings, man. Don't let Curry get 5 rings because I'm guaranteeing you right now, just like how you have a section of Kobe, actually, damn near all Kobe fans think that he's better than LeBron. Like that, like think about it. How many Curry stand or not Curry stand? How many Kobe stands do you really know that say Curry's or Kobe's not better than LeBron?
But Mustard, but low, I was saying this shit like months ago. I was saying if the Warriors win this championship, this offseason will be cooked. And we're already seeing, what are we, like 3 days in? And niggas are already coming out with some of the most ridiculous, stupid, idiotic takes I've ever heard in my life.
But this
like
is, but
they've
but
already started.
But the reason it's bothersome though is like I think there's a way to talk about Steph Curry in an appropriate manner. Like he's moved into a conversation for me between 8 and 12 all time. I think that's fair. But again, there are clear droppages to his game that LeBron doesn't have. So that's why I would never put them in the same conversation. But then when they brought up, you know, what if he wins 2 more championships and 6 rings? I'm like, yeah, well then he can have a conversation for a top 5 player ever, maybe top 4. But at that point in time, you're then having a conversation. Okay, Magic. You're having a conversation about Duncan or whoever else you want to put at 4 and 5. But I just think that if because they like in their and again in their mind, like I addressed it in the day, they don't think they're doing anything wrong or they don't think they're doing anything different than any other fan base does. But again, I'm somebody who dealt with the Philly fan base all year. Even what Philly
and now
fans,
you gotta see me, nigga.
Anyway, even what Philly fans did was not in line with what I'm seeing now in this conversation that's happening with the Warriors fans. Because it's like no matter what you say,
it's nowhere near.
Like when I brought up that Luka Doncic and Steph Curry on the same tier, like people went off. They like lost their minds and started spaces on it. They were talking about it in spaces. Like they just can't conceptualize the idea that you could win a championship and they can be in the same tier with a player that they beat.
It's because Giannis won and people said he was the best.
But I'm saying, but he already had an argument.
No, it's just how like
I'm gonna say he already had an argument before he won.
But listen,
it's just how narratives work every year. The Finals MVP is just always hyped up to be the best player in the league, right? It's just kind of how it is. If they're like
during their
top 5
space,
player.
I say Giannis, Jokic, and Curry were in a tier together, alone by themselves, because they're the top 3 players in the league.
I remember that.
And these niggas acted like I said. Trae Young and Steph were in the same tier. Niggas were really upset about me saying that. Like they were really like Curry needs to be by himself. He's clearly the best player. But I mean, these are the same niggas who told us that Curry since 2015 has been a better defender than LeBron James.
Well, they said
effort.
They said since 2015, Steph Curry's been the best player in the NBA.
Wes, they said this was a better scoring postseason than Kawhi's 2019 postseason run, bro. These niggas don't know basketball, bro. Stop talking to these niggas, man.
I told you, I tweeted, bro. It's probably my biggest tweet to date, which is kind of sad. But I said, Warrior fans don't like basketball. I said Warrior fans don't really like basketball, and it's true. Like they don't really like basketball, bro.
Let me say this real quick.
Where's that tweet? Where's that tweet at us?
Also,
All right, let's
Is
hear it.
Eli in here? I want Eli to be. I want to be because Niggas was
Nah,
talking
he's not
about.
in here.
All right.
Share, go get that nigga, please.
Let
No,
me.
Share,
no,
Let me.
go
you
get
don't. You
that
don't have
nigga.
to, because
Thank
it was
you.
just a conversation we were having about what you call it. It's rumors about like them spending too much money. It's rumors that the fucking Warriors had 700 million in net revenue, which would be fucking insane if that's true. So like they're not. They're trust me when I say that team is not concerned about spending money at all. They don't. Them niggas don't give a fuck. Like they're gonna keep
My
running out the
my
goddamn tab.
my whole thing about like the whole
I
championship.
just shared it in a jumbotron.
The shit to me is just weird, bro. Like the thing is, I know like the Warriors won the championship. I'm not gonna hate on them niggas. They got it, cool. But like the agendas and the shit that I've seen as of late, they're just not even good. Like it doesn't make sense. Like it just doesn't make sense to me how you view it that way. Like to I've seen some shit where it's like, oh, Kevin Love came to the fucking bro. Niggas are stupid. Nah, niggas literally telling me that Kevin Love came to the Cavs and became a worse player, and LeBron James didn't elevate his game. And to me, it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, what are y'all watching, bro? Do y'all? And the thing is, they'll try to. And what I hate too about niggas and stats, and niggas do this shit sneakily. It's so nasty. Niggas will pinpoint the stats that you talk about and exclude the year that obviously was their best year. Like for instance. Kevin Love's best year true shooting in the Timberwolves was his last year before he left to the Cavs. In his 4 seasons with the his 4 last seasons with the Timberwolves, his true shooting percentage was 57.5. His first 4 seasons with the Cavs, which was with Braun, all of them, his true shooting percentage was 57.3. Niggas will then tell me, oh, well, when he left the Timberwolves, he went ahead in his first 3 seasons had a lower true shooting percentage, and will exclude the fourth year where he had his best true shooting percentage, just to put a narrative of him having a lower true shooting percentage. Like, bro, y'all are that desperate to push the agenda that you're not going to look at the entire totality of what I'm talking about. To me, that shit is just whack. It makes no sense. And to me, it's like, bro, y'all niggas don't like basketball. Y'all niggas are just stan. Y'all are stans. This is stan culture, and no matter how you view it, you don't really care about you. Like, I'm a LeBron fan from Houston. I've been saying this. In this June, the past 7 years, I don't have fun. This shit sucks. My teams are always losing. It's that simple. But I'm not gonna sit up here and say what Steph Curry's not. No, bro. Like, come on now. Use some context and at least be honest with yourself. But the agendas that I've seen being pushed, it's
Why do
just
y'all?
bad.
So why
I
do
It's
y'all?
haven't. I
bad.
haven't seen. I haven't seen. Let me just say this. I haven't seen that many agendas, but I don't. I know. I've been working on a video, so I haven't been on Twitter as much as I normally am in the past 2 or 3 days. The only problem I have is just when niggas say what they say, and then like you know that it's a blatant lie, and then you present evidence that they are lying, and like that dumb fuck that we were just talking to keeps changing his criteria just because he wants to make it seem like what he's saying is true. Like that's the problem I have. Is that when if you want to believe that, that's fine. If you want to believe that the best player in the NBA got to be a white player, and that's how you gauge it, fine. But then don't then say
Did you
that
just
Kevin
call us
Durant is number
swiping?
two, because then that doesn't make any sense to me. Like that literally defeats your own logic. Your
But
logic
look,
can be
it's dumb
dumb.
to me because we watched the games and it's like, bro, LeBron James didn't do a good job with his pieces. He had more help, or he's not a floor. Like, bro, the questions of even
Well,
asking.
but you know what he made it even worse though is that Klay Thompson and Draymond Green didn't make a top 75, so that's like more ammunition
Yeah,
for
like
them
that
to make the
too,
argument
that
for
too.
Steph.
But like we know, like niggas know hoops, bro. Like I don't need to
They're
listen.
they're they're both
I'm not going to
two of the
Skip
75 best
Bayless
ever.
or Shannon A or Stephen A or Max Kellerman and tell me what the fuck I already know. But that's the problem. Niggas are listening to those niggas. But like when you talk about, for instance, like floor raising, you're not gonna tell me that LeBron James didn't do a good job in floor raising when it's LeBron fucking James. Like you can keep that shit out the window. What niggas should be doing, which I think is going to start happening very soon, depending on how the Warriors and how Curry continues, niggas are gonna start comparing Curry and stuff like they compare Magic and Bird. Because at the end of the day, the legacies are gonna be attached. But like the fact that Curry fans try to bring down Braun fans is stupid. The greatness of Curry comes from Braun. The greatness from Braun isn't all Curry, but Curry plays a factor in his legacy.
You know
It's
what's
just the
funny
case.
is
It's just the
is
case.
they're comparing many of the Warrior fans that we're talking about comparing Curry to Braun. LeBron Curry is never brought up when it comes to Braun's greatness. It's only Michael Jordan and it's only Kareem. It's like the conversation is different when it comes to the opposite. And I think like again that's why I asked like what's the obsession with LeBron James? I think it's a lot of this is they feel like LeBron James legitimizes Steph Curry in a lot of
But
ways. And
Swiper, we did this shit 7 years ago. Niggas tried to do the LeBron versus KD shit, and we put that shit to bed. That shit was done. That shit is done. Niggas tried that shit in 2013, 2014. Yeah, that shit was put to bed
But
immediately.
it can't. The problem though, and that sounds great, but the problem though in 2012, back then they can actually match up and they're gonna lose. LeBron, in all honesty, is probably at a stage in his career where there is much more likely that he's probably not going to win a championship and have another run of like 2 or 3 chips, like he did at the top of the 2010s. And so they can say the shit that they're saying and not really be checked by just irrefutable facts. Like that's the problem.
But what I don't like is that the LeBron's record versus Curry gets brought up that he's 1-3 or whatever it is. But again, context. To me, it matters. Like people say, well, they didn't have Andrew Bogut. Andrew Bogut wasn't touching Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. If Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love are available for that series, I don't think it turns out that way. If Kevin Durant doesn't play for Warriors at that point in time, I don't think it turns out that way either. And we will never know because they did ask and beg for Kevin Durant to come to the Warriors. Like that's a part of the narrative. Like that's a part of the legacy. So I think like if it was just Steph and like it was clear that he was just the best player on all those teams. Again, I know there's a Kevin Durant, Steph Curry argument. I get it, but like it exists. If that didn't exist, then maybe that could be an actual conversation. But as of right now, like I said, he's 1-2 without Kevin Durant. Like great, but at some point in time, like people have to realize that does matter that you acquired, like via free agency, via your ass, the number 2 or 3 best player in the NBA, and then two of you together with Clay and with Draymond in their peaks went ahead and faced against LeBron James, and then in that second round, the second time they played him with Jeff Green and Kevin Love and J.R. Smith or whatever else it was. It's just not the same.
Bro, they were making arguments that LeBron made George Hill, Rodney Hood, Jordan Clarkson worse.
They said, yeah, Dre was making an argument that he made
Derrick
Kevin
Rose
Love
worse.
worse. I was seeing that shit on the timeline.
it's nasty discourse, bro. But it is what it is.
Fuck it, man.
No, but let it be known, bro. I think it's known to everybody in here, or it should be known. LeBron is very clear of that nigga, bro. Please stop putting Steph in those conversations. He's nowhere near that nigga, and that's not a slight on Steph. That's how great LeBron is, bro.
Somebody call me.
Top 10 ain't good enough for them.
Well, I just need to know what do we do with Kobe and Shaq.
And deadass, I don't be hearing that though. So y'all got to show me where the niggas is saying like that Steph is in a conversation with LeBron or LeBron doesn't make his teammates better because that's fucking them niggas is
They say this
fucking
in
Look,
off
we
the
spaces. They say
literally
this in spaces. They're saying
look.
this in
Oh,
spaces,
okay.
I'm gonna
so
tell
it's
you.
like kind of
So
hard.
Urkel, I don't. I know you are busy. You probably don't want to go listen to that shit. But Urkel hosted a space, and I promise you, this morning, and that was the argument. That was what it was around. Urkel jumped out there first, said Curry is probably better than LeBron all time. Shadow doubled down, and then we started having a conversation about it, and it turned into Curry makes all of his teammates better. LeBron actually makes some of his teammates worse. Like I said, the defensive shit from 15, which is one of the most absurd takes I've ever heard in my life, bro. To argue that since 15 and understanding basketball, Curry was not a good defender in 2015. He was not. He was not strong enough. He always gave effort, but he was just not. He he wasn't a good defender. To argue that since 2015 Steph Curry has been better on defense than LeBron is so absurd to me. And they really believe that shit. They're not trolling. They really believe that shit.
Well, I think the thing though with that is like it's just the LeBron defense, the LeBron player stuff. But once again, I just find it really hard to believe in a world that you're saying since 2014 or 15 that Steph Curry has been the best player in the league. When there were points in time when they were healthy where James Harden had better argument for best player. Giannis
Oh,
has,
oh, you
Joker
cooking right now,
has.
bro.
I mean, but I
You
just
cooking, my man.
but that's just basketball though. But I think like I don't know. That's just me. I just think that like over that time period, there were players who were performing better, and then also elevated in the playoffs. And then at some, I don't know. So I don't know how to communicate to people that having Kevin Durant on their teams like it matters from a context of like how you won your championships. Because like yeah, you beat LeBron James, but beating LeBron James with Kevin Durant and Clay and Dre, it is distinctively different than LeBron James having Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. It just
And
is.
it doesn't matter if Curry is the best player of that team. The fact is that nigga he has 2 of the top 3 players in the world. He has like 4 of the top 20 players in the world. He's just gonna win a championship, bro. It is what it is. The math that's just how it works out. Like, we're not gonna come out here and say, oh well, he beat Bron in 2018, and because Bron couldn't make the likes of Jeff Green and Rodney Hood and Jordan Clarkson elevate to the level of KD and Draymond and Clay, and he's a worse player. Like, that's
No, but
idiotic, man.
that shit doesn't
Like,
make
what are we
sense to me.
talking about?
That shit don't make sense to me because essentially what he should have done is not beat the Pacers. Should not have had a crazy playoff performance in that 2018 like postseason. You should have just lost.
And it comes from
That's
this stupid
fucking
ass
stupid.
your finals win record thing. Like, I remember, like, y'all niggas remember when Nick Wright was like making the argument of losing before the finals is better than losing in the finals. Like,
That's
he said it
essentially
some
what
long
it
time
means.
ago.
Though.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
Comes
what it
from that
means. Yeah,
stupid
that's
ass
what it means.
So
logic.
like my thing is this: niggas will get mad at you, or like just 2 series where LeBron just like he was in like 11. We know 07 nigga was young, cool, whatever. But the niggas been getting to the finals like for the entire 2010 decade. Niggas will say, "Oh well, your finals record is shit, right?" And then they'll say like, "Oh, in the brightest moments, you didn't perform well."
Wait, what?
Okay,
Well, hold on, bro. Steve-O, what happens if Steph Curry gets drafted to the Timberwolves organization with their management
no, hold on.
rather than Golden State?
I'm about to explain that. It's a whole different situation. But niggas will say, "Oh, in the finals, oh, he didn't rise up to the moment. He didn't in the brightest moments. He didn't hoop." But they'll literally, the year somebody doesn't make it to the finals, it doesn't matter. Like for instance, I hate using Jordan as the only example, but in the brightest moments before he got Scottie Pippen and got Phil Jackson, the motherfucker did not make it to the finals. But it doesn't matter because nobody talks about it. Stephen Curry, for example, niggas will say Stephen Curry's done this in the past 8 years. What about before then? Nothing happened. He didn't get there. He wasn't good enough to get there yet. Credit to him at the time. He didn't have his guys. He didn't have Curry. He didn't have Clay, Draymond, Iggy. He didn't have those guys. True, that's fair. You need good players to hoop with. But those years, in those moments that mattered most, he did not get there. But because LeBron is so good enough to get to the finals and he loses against teams that are actually better than him, I think he's been favored to be twice in the 10 times he's been there. Niggas are going to tell you, oh, well, in 2015, you lost. Bruh, 2 guys missing. 2018, he shouldn't have even been there. That shit is stupid to me. LeBron literally should have just been pretty much mid in the playoffs and good in the years that he won championships, and niggas wouldn't say anything.
they use his greatness against him.
That
It's
is actually
crazy
dumb
that
as hell. There's actually very
Yo,
like look, Wes.
low,
Remember
this
one
low,
shit.
last thing.
low, low,
Wes,
low,
remember when they said? Remember when they said? They said
DJ, real
something
quick.
about
DJ, real
the
quick,
reason why he
nigga.
has.
Real quick,
Hey, Ash,
nigga.
hold on,
Nigga.
nigga, hold on,
Bro, bring up
nigga,
Eli. Bring up Eli. Bring up Eli, low. Bring up Eli,
one
low.
sec.
Thank you.
Niggas were saying, oh, his assists are only because he holds the ball so much. At that point, it's all right, bro. You got it, man. You got it.
Shut up, DJ. Damn.
Shut the fuck up,
But
Ash.
Yo, bring up
before I bring up,
Eli. Bring up
hold on,
Eli
before I
and
bring up
Trey,
Eli.
and then like a bunch of other niggas also.
Hold on, let me before I bring up you, man, nigga, it's not your room, nigga. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Damn. Before I bring up Eli, though,
Who are
bro,
you talking to like that, bro?
like the reason why I don't know of these Urkel spaces is because I have that nigga blocked. Because he said some crazy shit on the timeline, and I've seen it out of him a few times where I can't, that nigga shit cannot be on my timeline.
You mean
And
when
this
he
is
called? You mean when he said that Katie was T-Mac without Steph?
no. I'm talking about beyond the realm of basketball. He has said some outrageous shit, like just some like, all right, bro. Because I don't block people because they have like outrageous takes outside of that nigga ball don't stop. I block people when they just say
Hey yo, how he catch
like
it
some
straight?
crazy nut
You
shit.
know why you slandering my nigga BDS,
How
bro?
he
That's
catch
my
it
boy.
straight?
No,
BDS,
that
my
nigga
boy.
ball don't. No,
Ekam
ball don't
Nagra
stop.
knows basketball, bro. Please
Ball don't
respect him.
stop. He got to get blocked. No,
Ekam
he
Nagra knows basketball, bro.
he
Please
snuck.
respect him.
Urkel has just said some like very. I mean, you can probably type in Urkel tweets or something like that, or just Urkel spaces, and like you'll probably see tweets of this nigga just saying like very like odd shit, like some very very weird shit. So that's the reason why I blocked that nigga, and that's probably why I don't his spaces don't pop up on my shit. I don't really know, but yeah, that's why. And again, bro, but if that is the like conclusion that those niggas are coming to, I guess I'm happy I'm not in those spaces because I don't need to be in it. It's the same reason why I blocked that other nigga because it's like niggas is just saying crazy shit on the timeline for the sake of just saying crazy shit, and it doesn't make any sense. It just don't. Um,
Lo, do you think that they do it because they wanna talk to you?
to me, what?
Yeah, bro.
I hope
No.
not.
You carry
Because
NBA Twitter, right? Isn't
I'm
that
not
what you
talking.
said?
I'm not talking to them
Oh,
niggas.
this nigga
But
Dicky.
don't you carry
What he
NBA
do?
Twitter? I thought they'd like to talk to you.
Yeah,
This
this
nigga,
nigga's on my. Yeah,
this
your
nigga
shaboing is
Dicky
crazy,
in,
bro.
bro.
Yeah, that's all I asked.
But that's what you. But Lo, that's what you said, bro. You told me that you're the king of NBA Twitter, and that NBA Twitter without you would be dead. You
When did
said
I
Lo,
that.
say
you know
that?
what's the
You said that multiple
okay,
times,
he's
Lo.
trying, he's trying.
No way you're
Lo,
just
you know
lying
what's
like this.
the
Now that there's niggas here.
you know what's the craziest thing about the KD and Braun thing? The reason that like Urkel and them, like Urkel and Dre, like the reason that they say Steph is better is because I guess they think with Steph you have like better playoff units. But other than the KD years, like LeBron's best find all of his final teams have like other than 2013, and some of that is we play really tough opponents and injuries. All of his finals teams were they had a higher net rating in their run relative to opponent than the what's it called than the Warriors did the last this year and then in 15. Like LeBron's teams were pretty fucking dominant in the playoffs, my nigga. Like
But to even bring up like, then if the niggas hadn't even said that this year's Boston Celtics is on par with the KD Warriors, that nigga's just dumb, bro. He's
who said
dumb.
that?
Bro, the
He
use of
did.
the Boston
That's
That's
what
what
Celtics
they
Wes
is,
said, bro.
said.
bro.
That's what Wes said.
Yeah, no, them
No,
niggas in
no,
Urkel's
Wes
face
didn't
shop are
say
just
that.
No, no,
being
no,
a
no, no. I'm
bitch.
not saying Wes said that. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
No, nah. West
He's
was
trying to
relaying
get me
information.
class.
West was
You know
relaying
what? You know
information,
what's
but
so crazy? Like the fact that like, and I fuck with Steph crazy, bro. Steph is him, right?
No
That's
need
the
to dick
crazy
eat, nigga.
part
Just get to
too.
your
Let me
points. Oh
show.
my
No, but
god.
he's right though. We all
I'm
fuck
not.
with
Yeah,
Steph
yeah, yeah,
heavy.
yeah.
That's
But
the
like
Oh,
crazy part.
fuck that
the
nigga.
fact that
Oh,
the fact
I'm a
that
fuck.
like
My fault.
this nigga's a
yo you
Harden
niggas
fan.
yo you niggas is
You know.
gassing.
Shut up.
The
Shut up,
fact that
nigga.
That nigga still
okay
got
You're
scars
a
and
Trey,
battle
loser.
wounds.
You're a
You know what
loser,
I mean?
little bro. You're a
My
loser.
Yo,
nigga,
let
you're
me
a
bring that
Harden
shit.
fan.
You're a
Let's get off this
loser.
in.
You're a
you know
Nigga,
how
Harden
loser.
never even touched the
You're
five.
Jesus, Eli, what you about to
you
say?
know how Steph gets like what is Steph averages finals? Wasn't it like 30, 33, like
31.
It was like 31.2.
31 on
31.
63 true shooting.
and that's
Yeah,
crazy,
some
right?
crazy
That's
shit.
cuckoo for coconuts, right? But this like the fact that this nigga LeBron has runs where he was playing like 22 games of 34 9 and 9 on 64 shooting percentage while being a better defender type shit, bro. Like it's like yo,
No, Eli.
why are these
Eli,
niggas
no.
why are these niggas even getting
No.
compared? Like
Steph has been a better defender since 2015. That is
Bro,
not
the
true.
weaponization of like the 2022 Celtics
This
is
shit is
so
crazy.
crazy by Warriors fans. It's like it's so nasty. Like Lakers
they
fans
said
was
that they
doing
were
it,
better
like
than
Warriors
they
fans were
were better
doing
than
it.
the 16
Like hella
Cavs
teams
and
have
the
just been
17
like
Cavs.
gassing and
They said
overrating
that
the
they
Celtics,
said that the
Do you
and
Celtics
then
were
they
agree
better
with
than
set
the
that,
us up for
Trey?
18
failure because
Rockets.
when we
They
lose,
said the
it's
Celtics
like
were better than the 18 Rockets, Eli.
bro, it's
You
crazy.
niggas
Like
retarded,
niggas are
man.
saying, niggas were saying that like, oh yeah, this Celtics team is like the best defensive team in years. Like completely disregarding the Raptors. Like we just got completely overrated. And then now when we lose the finals, now niggas are trying to like just act like we were shit, and it's crazy. Or like Warriors fans in particular are trying to act like we were just like so fucking amazing and like
No,
they were the
but you know why they're doing.
underdogs and
But
like
Trey, you know
they
why
weren't
they're doing
supposed to
that.
win. Like,
But
bro,
Trey, you
come
know why
on
they're
now.
doing that? Because they need it for their Steph agendas.
Yeah.
They're gonna hype those
Bro,
niggas
it's
up so that they can say
it's so
Steph is the better
nasty
team.
how like all these non-Celtic fans and all these people who didn't expect us to be here are just like weaponizing us for their own agenda. It's so disgusting. Like, let's be real. Like this team, like bro, we would get swept by any other Golden State team. If we lost to this Golden State team, which is the worst Golden State team they've had
I
during this
that's
whole
so yeah,
run,
like
we
that's
would
so
get swept
weird.
by
Like
any other
LeBron
team.
sweeps y'all. Those
how
Cavs
can you
teams
how
sweep
could you
y'all.
how could you argue that the how could you
Respectfully.
argue that like how could you argue this Celtics team was better than like the 17
It's
Cavs?
not
Like
even a conversation.
that's so weird. Like the 17 Cavs weren't they didn't they lost one game going into the finals.
Right. And
The,
they
Cel-
just
the 17
they really
Cavs are
gave
so
it
fucking
away.
ridiculous. The 17 Cavs
Yeah,
are so
that game and
underrated
then
just
they
because they
were
lost
up
in five
big
to
and
the
they
greatest
were
team
up
of all
big
time.
in that game 3 against Boston, weren't they?
Yeah.
Bro,
Like Avery Bradley hit that buzzer beater. And they were really trying to get Kevin Love going, so they really just gave that game
Yeah, they
away.
kept giving K Love post touches.
Yeah.
I saw Warriors fans say that the Boston series was really the recipe for the Cavs with K Love. I don't know why they went away with it because Dre had said something about K Love not being maximized, and I was like, my nigga, you do know that they were toying with Boston, right? Like they were just fucking with them niggas, bro. Like they also let up.
Could you imagine if Kawhi Leonard like actually went down and beat those Golden State Warriors teams in what was that, the
He wouldn't,
2016,
though.
17?
That's a bad conversation because I
He
don't think
wouldn't, though, bro. He wouldn't.
I
healthy
mean, I don't know.
regardless is
That
beating
San
that
Antonio team is
2017
pretty
team.
incredible. But I'm saying, like, I
They
think
were
I don't
incredible.
think
That San
bro,
Antonio team is a lost team in like history. To be honest with you,
that team was really good, but I don't know if they. I don't know how long that they could like fuck with the Warriors or the Cavs because they ran so much too big stuff. Like they ran, like whether it was David Lee and LaMarcus or it was who was the other nigga, Paul Gasol
Pal, yeah.
yeah, like it was
I
like
just
they
It
ran a
is
bunch
kind
of
of crazy
I
how
will
niggas we can
always
all
love
agree that the
Harden.
2017 Warriors are like arguably the greatest team of all time, and then niggas also say that the Spurs beat them niggas like.
and also say
And then
that
I
while
mean, it was
underrating the Spurs.
possible, but look, the 17 Harden, bro, the 17-18 Rockets. That is just imagine. Oh, what could have been,
I'm
bro?
saying like that
What
shit
could
is
have been, bro?
crazy
How was
disrespect,
that
bro.
team worse than this
What could have
Celtics
been,
team?
bro?
I'm
I don't
saying,
get
bro,
it.
that is just crazy disrespect.
Because
Yeah,
To
a
if
say
team,
shit
a
they
like
team,
that.
a team that took the Warriors in their
You had
prime
a
to
slight.
7
You had a
games
to 7
slightly.
is worse
games,
than us, my nigga. We
You
lost
had
these
a
niggas
slightly
in six,
like
bro. Like, come on
CP3
now.
wasn't at peak form, bro, but CP3 was as close to his
he was
peak
elite.
form as
Yeah, he
he's
was
been
elite.
since.